By the crowd behind me, I'm sure you can tell that Deion Sanders now has a lot more believers in the CU students after the Buffaloes beat Nebraska 36-14. This game was probably a little closer than the score would suggest, at least through most of the first half. It was 0-0 with 5 minutes left in the first half, and guess what happened? Nebraska had a fumble. This time Jeff Sims dropped a snap. Colorado recovered, they get a field goal. Next drive, Jeff Sims throws an interception. Colorado throws a 30-yard touchdown. And then late in the half, on 3rd and 18, Jeff Sims runs out of bounds, saving a timeout for Colorado, which they used to call timeout on their final drive and go up 13-0 going into halftime. It was a complete meltdown at the end of the first half, and that portended things that would happen later on for Nebraska. They did cut it to 13-7 with a 57-yard quarterback draw from Jeff Sims, but after that, the avalanche really began. Shedeur Sanders is the real deal, folks. He's really, really good, and he got sacked 7 times today. He took a lot of punishment from Nebraska. He was blitzed all day long, and he did get hit at times. He made a few mistakes, but he never threw an interception. He kept his poise, and as the game wore on, Nebraska's defense wore down. And as a result, Shedeur Sanders was able to hit some late throws, right, against all kinds of different receivers. It was very, very impressive on his end. You know, Colorado just sort of overwhelmed Nebraska in the second half. Nebraska's offense, not good. They get a late touchdown drive with Heinrich Harburg. That was neat, right? That was pretty interesting. He came in after Jeff Sims either got cramps or he got hurt. Sims tried to come back in the game. There was the rare Chepa Purdy Heinrich Harburg drive. There was all kinds of stuff going on. It was, and then Harburg got a late touchdown drive with about 1 second left. The students rushed the field. They declared the game over, and Nebraska falls to 0-2. There's going to be a ton of questions about Nebraska's offense, particularly quarterback Jeff Sims. Can he run this offense? He had 3 turnovers today. He had a bunch last week. It's just not pretty from him, and he's got to get better in a hurry, folks. Jeff Sims has got to get better in a hurry, and this offense has to be able to just run things, not have false starts, not fall apart before the snap, not have to burn timeouts. Those are things that Nebraska has really struggled to do. You know what Colorado has? They got a quarterback, and they got receivers. And if you have those 2 things, you can win some football games in college football, and they have it. Nebraska lacks it. And even if I think Nebraska has a better defense than Colorado, and I do, they didn't have it today because Colorado just kept coming and coming and coming the way Ralphie does. A lot of questions for Matt Rule early in his tenure. They have a couple of home games coming up, but Nebraska now 0-2 after losing 36-14 to Colorado.